All right, so the first thing you should look at is your y-intercept, meaning where it crosses this line. So this one crosses your y-intercept right here, which is 3. So that means plus 3 and plus 3 here in purple. So that means B and D are out because that's minus 3, where the y-intercept would be right here on the graph. Next, you're going to look at your slope, and that's a pretty high slope. 1/3 would be at an angle like right here. It's a smaller slope, like a bunny slope, instead of skiing down this one. Okay, so this is rise over run. The difference between any 2 points on the graph is going to be 3/1. Here is 6/2, which is the same as 3. Here's 9/3, which is the same as 3. So you're getting to the same point where it's change over y, meaning the difference in the distance here, and the change over x here. And how you choose the points is just any 2 points on the graph where it crosses evenly on the lines. That tells you the 3x. All right, so assets and liabilities. Assets are things that you own. They are things that you have that are assets to you, and you own them. Liabilities are things you owe, meaning debt you have or stuff that you still need to pay for or bills. So if you wanted your net worth, what you are currently worth at this point in time, you add up your assets, meaning what you own, and you add up your liabilities, meaning what you still owe or borrowed, and you're going to subtract the two totals, and that is your net worth. All right, area of the sign. Now it tells you the diameter all the way across is 30. So all the way across is 30, meaning the radius is 15. So you're looking for area. Area equals pi r squared. That's 15 times 15. Don't use the 30. Don't use the 30. Multiply 15 times 15 times 3.14, and you get your final answer. All right, so per month. That is what you would multiply in your equation. See how it's increasing by $32 each month? The problem is it says the first month is 0, so it needs to be shifted down. So it looks like this. For every 1 month, starting at 1 month, $32. 2 months would be this amount, which is wrong because you're not increasing by 32. You're only increasing by 4. This is now increasing by 32. See this 1/32? For 1 month, 2 months it's doubled, 3 months it's tripled, 4 months, and that's what you end up paying. $32 is your change in y, while your change in x is 1. All right, let's find Landon semicircle and rectangle and right triangle. So I've color coded them. Find the triangle, 1/2 base times height. Now this is 4, because if you look at this line right here is a 10. The problem is you're not wanting this piece, which is a 6. So that leaves this 4 left over right there. And that's how you get that piece of the triangle. Don't use the 10 and don't just use half. You got to subtract. So that gets you your triangle. Area of the rectangle is obvious, but it is a 6x4. Don't use the 10. It's a 6x4. And then there is also the half circle or semicircle. The diameter is 4, so you got to use a radius of 2. So make sure you're calculating all of those correctly. And you add up all the mess. 8 for the rectangle. For the triangle, 24 for the rectangle, and 6.28 for the half circle. Now notice none of them have decimals, so you could just round that to 6 because it's an estimate. So 8 plus 24 plus 6. Okay, more than likely when you see one of these circles like this, you're going to have to set up a proportion because you're comparing. And it says music versus tennis. So you have this and this. So that is a 2% difference between the two. 12 minus 10 is 2. So part over whole, percent over 100. So that is 2%. So you automatically write 2 over 100. Now the whole is the whole time, meaning total of 24 hours. It's right here. So the 100% is 24 hours, and they want to know the x, that 2% of time. Cross multiply and solve. All right, remember 1/8 means divide by 8. 2/5 means divide by 5 and multiply by 2. So you're multiplying straight across. So 1/8 is 5, and then you multiply across, you get 40 times 2, which is 80, divide by 5, and you get 16. And that's a total of 21 for company X and Y. So what's remaining is 19 houses out of the 40 houses total. Okay, you're looking for the sales tax, which is 6% of that total amount. Now the word of is not there, but that's what you're looking for. You see a percent sign, and that means multiplication, not division. It's going to get smaller by multiplying by a decimal. So you set it up if you need to, or you just multiply it out. Multiply it out, and you get 528.50 times 0.06, because you got to change it to a decimal, and you get $31.54. Otherwise, part whole, percent over 100. You can set up the proportion nice and neat and cross multiply. All right, number 39, you got to read carefully because this is a volume question, but they're giving you the answer to the volume. So the volume is already given, and they're telling you square feet, meaning that's the 2, that is the area of that base. So when you look at your formula, volume equals area of the base times height, you fill in the area of the base. You don't have to multiply 2 numbers together. They already did it for 160. So then you multiply it by height, and it gets you the answer. So that is this piece right here. The answer, volume, equals, the area of the base is 160, and copy that H. Now you just have that one-step equation. You're taking the volume, divide it by the area of that base, and it gets you your height left over. It's working backwards. Number 40. Odds, so even numbers, not odds, meaning that big fat knot right there. It's ugly. So you said, so you're looking for the even numbers. So 2, 4, and 6. And that's 3 numbers out of 7, so that's 3 sevens. All right, this is color coded. You got to read it. New ones are $55, and you're going to buy 3 of them. So you multiply it out. How much are you going to pay for the new ones? Then you could buy how many used ones when they're each, meaning multiply. So that's what you put your letter next to. So I could buy so many used ones, and I'm already spending $165 on the new ones. So you have your equation as B. Awesome. Similar figures, and here's the example you look at. You don't have, it's not rotated, so it's easy. You have your two numbers, and you have your proportion right there. 12 over 16, 30 over x. Cross multiply and solve.